I really want to thank God that my story is one I think is a success story. I recognize that many patients do not have it as easy as I do because I have quite a number of relatives, about 6 of us in the family with lupus. And so I have seen what it does. I have 2 relatives who are not able to work, one who is not able to conceive, one who got worse after she had a baby. I can tell you stories about them. So I am grateful that my story is, as I said, a success story. But it was not always an easy story at all, because of course nobody expects to get sick. I didn't think I was eating badly, doing anything that would make me get sick so young. And so in February 2016, I started having pains in my shoulder and in my knees. And they just kept getting worse. I kept complaining to this one friend. And she eventually said to me, why don't you go to a chiropractor? She told me which one. They had a doctor, their medical doctor, who ran did x-rays or whatever it was, had their theory. But that doctor was wise enough to say to me, to ask me questions about my family history. And so she sent me for some simple tests when I went Mount St. John. I always choose the cheaper route. I'm a teacher. So I went for some therapy. Right after the therapy, everything seemed fine. And then it just kept getting progressively worse. I remember going to the emergency room one night after 1. Then, I don't know if you know, by that time those doctors are not too patient. And I'm not very easy to deal with either. Then I remember the next time I got sick, I decided, okay, I'm not going in the night. So I suffered through until the morning. And then I called a cousin of mine who took me. The doctors were not able to figure out what it was. I remember going also to the All Saints Clinic, Dr. Anthony. She knew me from before, by which time I was walking like a decrepit old woman. So she was shocked because she knows me. Anyway, she tried giving me some tablets and an injection. And the injection was not in the arm. And she put me to wait. Yes. And there was nothing happened. So she said, well, I can't give you anything stronger. I'm going to send you to the outpatient department. I got there, the doctor put me on opioids. I know something about opioids, so I wasn't pleased. I'd always preferred natural remedies, and here I am taking all of this medication. But she recommended me to a rheumatologist. I had just gotten back the results that the first doctor at the chiropractor's office had given me. So I took it to her. It didn't really inform her too much. I thought it should have, but it didn't, and I can understand why. However, she thought that perhaps I had rheumatoid arthritis, and so she gave me steroid shots. I paid dearly for them. I remember the price to this day. But in about 3 weeks, I was back to the same old condition. Eventually, I was just frustrated because by this time I couldn't eat. My family loved to eat. I couldn't walk, and I was just deteriorating. So at work, I was lamenting to my co-workers. And eventually they started thinking, which doctor, which doctor, which doctor? We went to one. So I got him and I said to him, Doc, you're doctor number 7 now. 7 has always been my favorite number. I didn't think about it that time, but so So I said, please tell me what is wrong. So he questioned me. I told him what I could remember. And he asked, had anybody sent away a test for rheumatoid arthritis or lupus? So I said, no. He said, well, these tests are expensive, but we have to do them. Anyway, God provided the way, and I sent away first test for rheumatoid arthritis, which came back and said negative. And so we had to pay for another one. Of course, all this time I kept getting worse and worse. I remember him putting me on sick leave in the month of June. And I'm on sick leave getting worse. Not ready to die, of course. So I told my aunt, look, we're going back to the doctor. Let us pack my bag. I was in Freetown at the time. Couldn't stay by myself. I couldn't do anything for myself. So I had to go stay with my aunt. I said, pack my bag, I'm not coming back, I'm going to the hospital. So I went to the doctor first, and he said, yes, go to the hospital. I remember some of the conditions I had, the doctor spoke of them, pain, severe pains in the side. I remember when I went to the rheumatologist, she's like, but there's no joint there. Well, I don't care, it hurts. Chest x-rays, nothing. So, the doctor calls me, probably from where the table is to where she's probably about here. And by the time I get to her, I'm about to faint, to pass out, I can't breathe. So she was panicking. What is this? They realized I had bronchitis. So I was admitted. Not been a very good patient. It was a fun time. Eventually they released me. Not any better condition at all. I think they were tired of me. And wrote on my discharge paper, see your general practitioner. So he said, but I had never seen anything like this in my life. Anyway, I wasn't easy. God in his wisdom had already planned. He knew what was going to happen, and he had already planned. My daughter was studying abroad, and I knew she was lonely. But her father normally travels to the US in February, so I figured she's a daddy's girl. Yes, she's a daddy, she'll feel a lot better. By the time he left, I realized she wasn't doing any better, so I said I had to go. By this time my condition had not really progressed anywhere. So I had bought a ticket in March for vacation. But this is now June. I'm to travel in July, 2nd of July. And God in his wisdom allowed me to use that same ticket for vacation to get to the US and to go to the hospital there. They did my vitals, they sent me right away. Other patients were not pleased. But the doctor, when she looked at the vitals, I remember her saying, these are not right. So I have to check them again. So she checked. And then, normally, I've been to the emergency room more than once, she used to say what is to happen, but she started doing it herself. Eventually she asked, when she stabilized me, how did you get like this? So I explained. She asked again, what happened? I was admitted to the hospital, of course. I had bronchitis still, having left Mount St. John with it. My jaws were locked. I had developed a stomach infection, probably because of the immune system. I had become anemic, and they say because I flew with the anemia, I developed clots in my lungs. Was not a fun time. My family, they didn't understand what was happening originally, and it was not easy time to deal with, especially when you get an American bill, a hospital bill. But God is good. Insurance ate a lot of that. I remember also calling back to Antigua because they put me on some different medications. And I called to ask the doctor, when I come back, can I get these medications? And the receptionist said, yes, medical benefit has them. Oh, I don't know if you know how overjoyed I was. I'm sure you can guess. I also have a friend we have to appreciate medical benefit. Number one, I have been to pharmacies in the US, hospital pharmacies. The wait is longer, I tell you, than here. I have a friend in St. Kitts who has lupus. She buys all her medication. If I were to buy my medication, I'd be already there. So we must appreciate what we have, and we must take care of it. I also hope that doctors too will run with, when you see something is not working, because the treatment I got from the rheumatologist, I went back to her and I said, this is not working. She gave me more of the same. How is that? Change it. Try something else. Because people respond to different medications differently. Alright? So, be considerate. Support all the lupus activities. Get a shirt. We have a pop day the 17th. So make sure you wear purple that day. Tell others about it. Do whatever you can to assist, because many persons are suffering quite a lot from lupus. Thank you.